It started with footsteps that didn't belong to her. Maya held her backpack tight against her shoulder as she walked home from school, her shoes slapping against the cracked pavement of Hollow Creek Road. The November sky was bleeding into dusk, painting the world in a half-light that made every shadow stretch longer than it should. Her phone battery was dead. Her shortcut, normally filled with laughing kids, was silent. And now, there were 2 sets of footsteps. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. Maya told herself it was just her imagination. She'd had a long day, late test, no lunch, a storm brewing overhead. But when she stopped walking, the footsteps behind her stopped too. The sound of leaves crunching underfoot faded into stillness. She turned around slowly. Nothing. Just the narrow road, lined with bare trees that reached toward the sky like broken fingers. She swallowed hard and began walking again. Crunch, crunch, crunch. This time, closer. Her heart began to race. She wanted to run, but she remembered what her mom always said. Running makes predators chase. That word, predators, echoed in her head like a warning. She tried to calm herself, whispering, "It's fine. It's just someone else going home." But when she reached the old iron bridge at the edge of town, she knew it wasn't fine. The footsteps stopped. The air grew still. Then came a whisper. Maya. Her blood ran cold. Nobody was supposed to know her name out here. She spun around, searching the shadows. "Who's there?" she shouted, voice trembling. No answer, only the faint sound of water trickling under the bridge. Maya's throat tightened. Her legs wanted to move, but fear rooted her in place. Then, out of the corner of her eye, she saw it, something pale slipping behind a tree, quick and soundless. She gasped and stumbled backward. "Mom?" she called, even though she knew it wasn't her mother. The air smelled strange now. Wet earth and something metallic, like rust, or blood. She began to walk faster. Her breathing grew ragged, her fingers gripping the straps of her backpack until they ached. She didn't dare look back again. The old houses ahead looked empty. No lights, no cars, just hollow windows staring back at her. Then she saw it. In the reflection of a puddle. Someone standing right behind her. Maya screamed and spun around, but the road was empty. Her reflection rippled, then steadied. The puddle was calm again, but the shape was still there. It wasn't her reflection anymore. It was smiling. Her breath hitched, and before she could think, she bolted. The road blurred beneath her feet as she sprinted through the dark, the sound of her own heart louder than the storm building above. She didn't stop until she reached the corner where Hollow Creek met Lantern Street, the streetlight flickering weakly in the distance like a dying candle. And under that flickering light, she saw him, a man, tall and motionless, wearing a long gray coat. His head was tilted slightly to the side as if curious. She couldn't see his eyes, only the glint of something silver in his hand. "Stay away," she yelled, backing up. He didn't move. Then, one step forward. Lightning cracked across the sky, illuminating his face for a split second. It was pale, stretched, wrong. Maya turned and ran toward the nearest house, pounding on the door, screaming for help. Lights flickered on inside, but before anyone could open it, she heard the man's voice again. Soft. Too close. "You shouldn't walk alone, Maya." She spun around, and there was nothing. Just the sound of rain and her own sobbing breaths. The door opened. An elderly woman peered out, startled by the girl's terror. "Child, what's wrong?" Maya fell into her arms, shaking. Someone followed me. He knew my name." The woman frowned, glancing past her. "There's no one out there, sweetheart." But when she looked again, the puddle at the end of the street shimmered under the light. And in its reflection, just for a moment, stood the gray-coated figure smiling up at them. Then, gone. Maya's mom arrived minutes later, pale with fear. They drove home in silence. Maya didn't tell her everything. She couldn't. Some things were better left in the shadows. But that night, as she lay in bed, she noticed muddy footprints by her window. Small, delicate ones, like a child's, ending just below the glass, and drawn faintly in the condensation, a message: never walk alone again. Maya never took that shortcut after school again. Because sometimes, the things that follow you aren't people at all. Because fear doesn't always chase. It waits, just long enough for you to feel safe, and when it does, it never walks away empty-handed. If this story gave you chills, hit subscribe and tell me in the comments, would you have looked back? You're listening to Cinematic Whispers, where every story hides a truth, just behind the next corner.